Hi guys, welcome back to the Koi Element. Welcome back to the 20% in the East. Thank you so much for being here. And we're in the 8th episode, I think, P1E8. And this in this episode, we're just going to look at how to. Okay, the last episode, the most recent one, we're looking at the ministries, the role of the ministries in each partner state. And so I decided for this episode, I'm just going to talk about how the application process or how I got the industrial attachment at the Ministry of East African Community here in Kenya. So just how it happens, how I did it, and if you're interested, at least you know now because watu wengi wamekuwa wakiniuliza about it. So let's start.
Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuwajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
So just to begin with, what is industrial attachment? So some unis wanaita attachment, wengine wanaita internship, but ni yote like it's a ukifika hapo for the third year, then you have to go to an actual place of work and learn these skills, gain those whatever's in person, and do the work for the course that you're doing in that environment. So that's why we have those that avenue, internship or attachment. Usually it's just for 3 months, and it's actually an important part of the education and training because it gives you like the real practical work experience, and it also links you to the industry and to the networks in your place of work and in your course and in your field. So it's really good. You get these practical skills and this some really nice work ethics, and how it's actually done on the ground, not just theory but like practical ile kabisa. So in Kenya actually, if you're talking about the government offices, because unaweza enda Atacho is the short form for attachment, either in the government offices or in the private ones, whichever. But there's actually something, it's called the National Industrial Training Authority. It's a state corporation here in Kenya. And it has a constitution, blah, 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 and all that. I think before I really didn't know about it, but later on, when I got the attachment is when I researched and I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. Because it's mandated to promote these high standards and to ensure that students have that practical skills given to them and they're able to access that and I don't know, like how do I say it? To ensure like this proper training and that transfer of know-how between the students and the real people in the field. It's actually mandated and they are supposed to give you an attachment because it's free. That's another thing. It's actually free. You don't like necessarily get paid. Sometimes you can be given like allowances, maybe just transport, not guaranteed and not everywhere. Some at least they give you that, but it's not really paid work. It's just go there to learn for yourself, and that's why it's important. And you see like actually someone who is winning in that situation. So I remember how I was preparing to get it because online kuna kwanza ilikuwa hii time ya corona, so when you send applications online, I don't know, for me it really didn't work, and it was taking way too long. So I found it was really more effective when I went physically to the places. So nika decide siku moja I got all my documents in order, so many copies of the same documents, so that I dedicated a day. I think it was like on a Monday or a Tuesday. Nikaenda tao and I just went dropping them and going to those different places and giving them my documents. So ideally what you need is a copy of your CV, your updated CV, application letter. So here you also have to know the address to where you're sending it. So another hack for this is, instead of having the printed application letter, you just make sure you go with a pen and some foolscaps. so that ukifika huko then you just write it, at least uko na a draft of what your application is going to be about, then you like just make sure you have the address there. It's also nice because I remember when I went to EAC, actually I wrote mine there at the reception. It was not bad, it was good. So CV application, also have the letter from the school. That's important, though that's in a show, like it's in ile attachment that run for 3 months. Letter from the school. They also need a copy of your ID. They also need a good conduct certificate. And if you don't really have it at that time, when you go to eCitizen and when you apply, you get like a receipt, an invoice, and you can attach that in that place. Like at least it shows when we apply, and ikikuja, it has been accepted. Ikikuja, then they'll know. But when you don't have the certificate, you just use the receipts and all that, the invoice that you get. There's usually the customer copy and the government copy, either of them. So yeah, I think, was there anything else? I think it was just that. Yeah, ideally inakuwaga ni hizo, unless kuna other things where you can go and ask them. Apple at the offices, you can also dedicate a day to, you have like a list of the places you want to go and ask, get the details if it's something more that they usually want and all that. Because I remember there were some places where they asked for my KCP certificates, KCAC, transcript of some results. Man, it was a long process. But at least EAC nizo zenmekwambia, it's just those easy things. Now when you apply, then when you drop to those places, kwenye nilienda museum, Kenya Museum, Nairobi Museum, National Museum Kenya, niko hapa Nairobi. I also went to, of course, EAC. I went to NMS. It's at KICC. I think it's still there. I don't know. I also went to City Council. I also went to place Nyayo House. It's immigration, yeah. So huko ndo walikuwa wanahitaji hizo vitu mingi, but for EC and most places it was just those basics. Then nimesema hawakuwa wanahitaji hizo certs and transcripts and what not. So okay, so going there, when at least for EAC, let me give in the case of EAC, you take your documents, unapeana, wanaandika, like everything is in order. Then when there's actually a space, they'll call you. So me, what I did after, because I think it was in December, just the week before Christmas, then when I came back to Nike after the New Year's, just the following week, I went to follow up. Usually you can wait for them to call you, but I wanted to go and just check everywhere that I had applied, that in December. So I followed up and I found out that I got in and I was accepted at the ministry. So it seti lazima ujue mtu vile watu huwa anasema and all that. You just take your documents, and personally me can sema, if taking your documents physically, it worked for me there, and especially time ya corona, just things opening and closing vitu, and vitu zikuwa sure. Me, that really worked for me, and ilikuwa effective, at least on my side. And what else? So went, followed up, and ideally, like Savile tulitoka, what they do is, even if there are people actually who are still there in attachment and it's full, but right, you've taken your document, it will be there when those guys get out. There'll be allowances, you guys will come in. So, but as long as your documents are there, that's the best thing. It was a good time. I think I shared my experiences and a little about it in the first episode. Yeah, just go watch P1E8. Get all the details there. So yeah, thank you.